What is up, YouTube? Marcus, aka Apostle here, bringing you another Overwatch spots and pass video. This time we are doing the map Numbani. Let's get to it. First thing I want to show you is a quick little Ginji Path that I like to take on attack. It's if you just push this right side here. I like to walk this right side, run up this wall here, get on top this little ledge, jump up to this ledge, and a lot of times teams like to sit up here and try to keep you locked up in your spawn. But if you come up the back this way, there's usually a lot of snipers wall peeking here, and you could come up behind them as Ginji, get a quick easy pick on them because they're not going to be paying attention to you. They're going to be looking over here as that's where your team is, and then you could just get the easy pick and allow your team to push out a spawn and get a little extra ground, since then the enemy team is going to be down one, maybe two players if you get a lucky 2 picks. Next, I want to show you a little spot that's pretty useful for survivability. A lot of fights take place in this room. If your team pushes up this way, their team will be up here and push you back into this room, and there will be a lot of fights in here. What I don't see a lot of people doing is using this counter as cover. It's really great as you're basically in a head glitch location here, and you can get some easy shots, and you have this as cover here. These can't be knocked down, which can either be a blessing or a curse. This is because you can use them as cover, but at the same time it also gives the enemies cover because you can't see past them. This spot isn't incredibly useful, but it is nice to get the upper hand on your opponent and can be used in certain situations. Down here is a nice little spot for you corner campers. If you hop right into this corner here, I think it's the most useful as Reaper. If you just teleport right up here, I'm not sure if you can jump up here without a double jump or a wall run, but if you teleport up here as Reaper, you can sit in this corner. A lot of people like to push through this room here to try to use the cover of the bus and get behind your team if you're holding this location, and really if you're up here as Reaper, you can get an easy headshot, maybe 2, and you're basically guaranteed to win the gunfight. Next thing I want to show you isn't really a spot or a path, it's just my opinion is that you should really be holding this area here, as if you try to hold up on this bridge here, they have a path here to flank you, a path here to flank you. But if you come down here, the only way they can push you is through this area here. So they're really forced to funnel through either this side of the bus or the back side of the bus. And the only route for them to flank you is through the room here. But you have an easy side of them trying to flank you, so you know if they're pushing through there. So really holding this location is great because it forces them to funnel. If you have a Reinhardt here, it's really amazing because you just have this bus as cover, and you could have a Reinhardt shield sitting right here, and you could get some easy damage on them and then really just keep them locked up behind that bus over there. Personally, I like to play Hanzo on defense on this map. With him, I like to either sit on top of this spot here waiting for them to spawn. You can get some nice shots here. It's a little bit tough with this sign, but if you crouch, you can get a couple easy body shots. It's really hard to get some headshots if they're back behind the bus over here, but you can get some easy damage here. Damage over here, especially if there's a Zenyatta, he's pretty easy to get a headshot on through this spot. Or another good spot I like to sit with Hanzo is right down here. If you sit here, you have the cover of the bus on the left side, and you could really easily cover this right corridor here. If you're on the opposite end of this and there's a team holding this location, it's incredibly hard to break. What I like to do as a Ginji player is I like to push up this way. You have some cover up here. You can use your crouch to get some cover. You really got to be aware of Torbjorn Turrets or Bastions sitting up there, but if you're Genji, you could usually pick them off pretty easily. But once you get up here, I just jump, dash right through here, and then I'm up on this platform, which works perfectly. You're in a good spot. You can maybe get a pick on somebody if you really want to, but if you're hurt, you can jump down right on top of this large med pack and just push right to the point. What this does is it makes people that are sitting up here turn around and focus on you, and gives your team the upper hand when pushing that location. A good spot for defending the flank over here is right up here, as you can't shoot through this tree, so you can watch the flank. You could do some damage, and then if you need cover, all you got to do is step right behind this tree. You're still showing a little bit, but it does give you some pretty good cover, but you could just peek in and out from behind this tree and get some easy damage on them. I suggest using this as a Pharah or somebody with an easy escape. Even a Genji, you could just fight them, come up here, dash, and you're back up on the high ground. There's another little ledge like that right over here. This is a pretty useful spot as Widow. You can just sit up here. Not a lot of people look up here. This tree gives you cover. You can pop in and out from behind this tree. If you're watching this front area as Widow or Hanzo, you just walk back and forth here and get some easy picks. This spot also allows you to watch this upper door over here, and if you strafe back, you can watch this lower door over here as well. So overall, this spot gives you a pretty good vantage point, and I really don't see a lot of people using it, so it will give you the upper hand, as not a lot of people will expect you to be up here. I switch over to Farah to show you this really useful flank for breaking this control point. A lot of people like to set up their Torbjorn turrets up there, down in there, but if you come up this way and you come all the way around, you can come right back here, flank back over here, fly all the way around the building. If you got hurt, there is a med pack right there. You can come and pick up people that are low, pushing back this way. You can fight people in this room here. You can come up all the way behind them this way, which I like to do, and shoot from back over here, and it really splits up the team as they have to watch this area as well as the area in front of them. Another good spot is Reaper. If you have your ult and they just captured the payload, if you teleport right up onto this, not a lot of people look over here. They'll be looking down here, but once they get the payload over here, if you have your ult and you have your team set up here, all you got to do is jump down, press R, and you basically wipe their entire team. If you turn around and head right back this way, you can actually get back on top of this statue here. I like to use this as Hanzo or Widow. You can use the statue as cover when they have the payload over here. You can watch these doors down here, back there, and you could really just have a great vantage point to take some people out. Another cool path is in this area here. A lot of times you're fighting for control of this building, and people are going to be watching here and here on defense or here and here on offense, and what you can do is you can come to this area here, and if you're on offense, you can just hop right over this wall. People are going to be sitting either right here or right in this room. You can get some easy damage as they're really going to be expecting you to go here and then pop back out and just peek this door here. So you can get some easy sneak damage before they realize you're there. If you're on defense and they're pushing this room, they're going to be expecting you to peek this door. You can just do it right back over here. You could even use this rock as cover if you need to. If you head back this way, there's another power point that you can control over here. If you just run back this way, hop up this little ledge, hop up here, you have a nice area to pick off people that are camping back here. Heading deeper into the map, if you just head up this way, this is a pretty known spot. You can just get right up on this ledge here. You can do it as any character just by breaking this little rail, and you just come up right over here. It's a nice little hidden spot. You can watch this doorway. You can watch the little flank that I just taught you. You can watch over here, and you have some good cover just by backing up. Don't forget to crouch. It's really helpful to get extra cover from the floor when you're crouching. You can also jump on top of this. I don't really recommend using this spot as you don't have as good as cover, and really if you get pushed, you have to fall back. If you fall back this way, usually there's going to be people behind you. There's not really any escape route from up there, but it can be useful in certain circumstances. This route's really helpful to get past this little tunnel choke point here. Once the payload gets to this checkpoint, a lot of people struggle to get it through the tunnel. What I like to do is I like to push this way, come up these stairs here, push all the way back, and then if you come over, take control of this high ground. It's really useful to keep control of this high ground. You can either come up behind them, which I don't really recommend. A lot of times there's people sitting back here, Torbjorn turrets are set up. You really get picked from this location. But what I like to do is I like to push this left side over here, go down the stairs, walk right down here. You're on a large med pack, which is huge to keep control of this large med pack. And then you're over here, maybe as Hanzo, maybe as Ginji, and usually they're going to be all set up looking this way, looking for your team, maybe looking up there, but not a lot of people realize that you can flank them from this way. So you can come back here. If you're in a good spot, you can ult, maybe just get some good picks. If you really need to get to a better spot, you can even come all the way up behind them this way. And it's really just an amazing flank route. You can come through this building. A lot of people like to sit in here and watch the tunnel. You can come up behind them, get that pick. A lot of healers like to sit in there, or you can come back right here, pick up the healer, which will be huge for your team, and then really help your team push this checkpoint here. What a lot of people do when they're holding this choke is just hold this open area here. What I like to do is I like to hold back here. It helps you cover this flank that I just taught you. You have cover from the rock and the tree. You have this open area here that you can shoot at. You can watch this if you really want to, and if you're hurt, you have this med pack right behind you. Overall, it's just a great location. If you're good with Widow, you can even come back here, stand on this rock, and if you break these little rails once again, you can get some headshots. You really have to be good with Widow to use this spot because you're really only going to be able to see their heads from back here. If you really want to get creative, you can even use this spot up here. If the payload gets through the choke, this spot up here will help you get behind them, have a vantage point on them, and maybe get a few picks from behind. You really want to make use out of these ledges on Numbanis. They're really helpful. as cover, as vantage points. Just really keep an eye on these ledges and make use of them. All the wildlife is useful, and by wildlife I mean the trees and stuff, and like the planter boxes like this is another good Reaper spot to hide if you want to ult. If they're pushing up here, they're going to be looking this way or that way, not really going to be looking from behind here, so you can just hide behind this planter, walk up behind them, press R, and get a team kill. I'm going to show you a couple more planters real quick. These ones I like to use as Hanzo, as Pharah. Just sit up here, get some picks here. I like to use this one as Pharah, as you can just rain down rockets. You sit up here, and they can't really see you in the trees. You just shoot down rockets up here, and it's pretty great. As Pharah, what I really like to do, though, is get up above this tree line here and just float up here, and then you could rain down rockets, and they can't see you because of the tree line, and you can't see them either. But you can just rain down rockets through here, and with your AoE, you know where the payload is. You can just fire down at the payload and hopefully get some lucky picks. This is also a useful spot for a Torbjorn turret. It does have an easy chance of getting picked, but it really is hidden up here. Not a lot of people look up here, so if you set your turret down, it can get some easy picks, and you could actually shoot through this tree here. A lot of these limbs aren't solid, so if you put your Torbjorn turret here, it's hidden, but it could also shoot through the tree. There's also one more ledge back here that is useful to put your Torbjorn turret on. Right here has the cover of the tree line and really has a good vantage point for covering this last point, as it watches the flank here and watches the main push, and it can watch this flank behind as well. Anyways, guys, that's all the spots and paths I have for you on Numbani. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're looking for more Overwatch content, check out my live stream down in the description below. I stream daily, so be sure to check that out, or click one of the 2 links posted here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great day.